Have you ever wanted to buy, say, a vibrator, some lingerie, or any kind of sex toy for you, your man, whatever, for your OF, and it's just expensive as fuck. It's unruly, and you're like, I just can't justify spending that much on that item. Thanks to Adam and Eve, our sponsor for today's episode, you actually get one item for 50% off. You use code YALL, YALL, you get 50% off of one item, free shipping, discreet packaging, and that's pretty much it, honestly. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. The URL is adamandeve.com. So whether it's like lingerie, if you want like a nice little vibrator but you don't want to break the bank, there's all kinds of shit on there for guys and girls. Yeah. Buy something for your girl. Do something nice for her. I know y'all don't. Yeah, she feels unappreciated.
That has
Go
a vibrator.
50% off. If you don't buy it for her, just break up at that point. Like, just fucking break up. Your bio says, I'll ruin your life. Are you
I will.
Are you toxic in relationships, would you say?
No. Not that ruin your life. Yeah. Maybe like 10 years ago, you can ask my ex-husband. Yes, I was pretty toxic. And I say that it's because I have currently switched to like domming in this industry, and I will ruin their lives. I will take all their money.
Apparently there's a big market for that. Have you ever done like...
I'm going to have a guy sign his deed to his house to me.
Wait, I need a lesson. I need a tutorial when this is over, like, and then charge people for it or whatever. But like, I literally teach me, please. Like, I've heard of like the whole pay pig thing or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So that's really a thing. Like,
oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've just seen it
ruin
like
their
on
lives.
the depths of TikTok.
It's total ruin.
How do you find one? Like in theory, hypothetically, like step one, I like want someone to just pay for my whole life and just degrade them to like the core of their being. How do I start?
Well, you have to switch your aesthetic to that. You have to put it out there that that's what you do. I found it easy because I currently switched over to a site that I am like currently on right now. Yeah. And that's basically what it is. It's like a fetish site.
Interesting.
And most of those girls are like femdom and findom, and I just started posting like that. And I've been in this industry for 9 years now.
Yeah.
And I'm over being that sweet girl.
Right.
Like, you know, guys have just ruined it. They're not so great. It's not so great to deal with a lot of them. So I have switched to ruining them, and it makes me feel very great.
Honestly, I feel like that's the avenue that I want to go down. I don't want to like have to be nice to a man respectfully. Like I really
You look like you could definitely play the part for sure. You look like you could ruin a man
for free, honestly. So like, if not for my own financial gain, then why not? How long have you been in the industry, and what kind of segued you into it to get
Almost
started?
9 years. So it'll be 9 years in next year, January 1st, actually. It was when no OnlyFans existed. I don't even think it existed, to be honest. Premium Snapchat was barely a thing, but I saw this team called the Ganja Girls, and I had seen a couple of the girls had been advertising a VIP Snapchat, and at that time in my life, I was losing a bunch of weight. I was getting tattoos. I really wanted to aspire to be like a tattooed model and do like something of the sexual orientation. And I saw the VIP Snap. My friend did cam modeling, and she also told me about the Snapchat. So that's how I started. I posted on my Instagram, would anybody be interested in some nudes?
She said, might I interest you?
Yeah, might I interest you in some
sir.
nudes? I swear to God, 400 people were in my DMs, and like more than half of them bought.
No shit. How much were you charging per?
Well, pretty cheap.
I mean, cheap. Like, you're getting started, you know?
Yeah, I was getting started. It was pretty cheap. I think it was like $20, $25, and like for someone who was broke, was literally donating plasma just to get by. That was a lot of money for me.
So then what was step two? You're like, okay, this is profitable. I can make a living probably doing this. So what did you do next?
Instead of just selling nudes, I created a Snapchat and created a membership tier, monthly, lifetime, and then I just honestly just went for it. There wasn't a lot of girls doing what I was doing at the time, so there wasn't too much inspiration. It was kind of just like all the things that I read in Cosmo magazines as a kid, all the things to be sexual, and I just applied it.
Use what you can. So you were one of the first ones, you would say, to kind of like pop off on Premium Snap and then like grow your Instagram and everything like that when that became a thing?
Yeah, I would say.
Okay, so when OnlyFans came around, you already had a following at that point? Okay.
I was doing Snapchat, and a girl in the industry asked me if I've ever heard about OnlyFans, and I had said no. And she was like, well, it's like your premium Snapchat, but you don't have to worry about getting deleted like every month like I was. I was getting deleted every single month. So many haters. I had some secret haters, some secret
don't we all
hating army wives.
Not the army wives.
Yeah,
please.
the army wives.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all are cheating too. Don't even lie. Like, y'all know what
well,
you're
their
doing.
men were all up in my shit. You know what?
Listen.
They were using their grocery money for their kid and their wives on my Snapchat. So
Not
I could
the
see why they
cereal
hated
money,
me.
girl,
Yeah,
please.
the cereal
Damn,
money.
crazy.
They had to live off of ramen. As they should.
Not the cup of noodles. Okay, so then that started popping off. They were pissed. Obviously, they were reporting you. You had your OnlyFans at that point, and then what happened from there?
I pretty much gave up Snapchat for like 3 years because I was tired of being deleted, and I just really focused on OnlyFans. And at that time, it wasn't so oversaturated.
Yeah.
And you could do like simple shout outs with each other to grow. So I grew pretty quickly.
Okay.
And it was nothing to get a bunch of guys from my Snapchat to just join OnlyFans, and it was just it was so much better. Girl, COVID era was my greatest era.
Really?
I made the most money that I have ever made in a month on OF.
You don't want to ask you, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you make in your biggest
Over
one?
50K a month.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's amazing though.
Like I know some girls make I know girls that make 300K a month. But 50K was a lot for me, and it was a lot for a lot of like my friends, and my friends started booming too, and we were making amazing money. And then COVID ended, the stimmy checks ended, and everyone went back to work, and everyone got too good to pay for porn.
If a girl were to go into OnlyFans, do you think it's still possible to be successful, or do you think it's a lot harder?
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
It is definitely a lot harder. If you do not have a following, it's a lot harder. If you have a following, it's probably not going to be as hard, but it's still possible to grow on there, depending on what your market is and what kind of things you want to do.
Do you think it's possible to keep it separate from your socials? Like I have friends, for example, who they know they do really well on there. They think they would, but they want to like keep it completely separate. They don't want to have people know like on their primary social that they have OnlyFans.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think that it's completely possible to grow on OnlyFans without promoting it. It's because they don't have an in-house promotion. If they had an in-house promotion where you could like put some hashtags on some photos and show up on their explore page, then yeah, it is possible. But they are solely relying on you either doing buying promo from other girls, you doing shout outs with other girls, or you bringing in your own subscribers from your socials. So it's probably not going to be the site for those friends. I mean, I don't know if did you hear about like the whole credit card company, like where OnlyFans came out to say that they were going to actually shut down OF or ban porn altogether. And that created like an uproar. They ended up losing a lot of girls. Then I guess they saw how much they lost. And so they took it back. After like a week of saying that they were going to, they took it back and said they were no longer going to ban porn. It was just they were going to crack down a little bit harder on the type of content that was being posted, and because of the credit card companies.
I thought, from what I heard, I don't know if this is connected, it was something pertaining to like Bella Thorne or something, how she like said she was gonna post like some nudes or like a sex tape or something, and she made like $1 million in a day or something
and a
like
bunch
that.
Chargebacks.
Yeah, and apparently like a bunch of chargebacks, and she never actually
think
posted
that it
anything.
completely had to do with her. There was
Full
a
blame on
lot
Bella
of there was a lot of girls in this industry that were posting things that they should have never been posting, that was already violating terms of services, and I think it was more of a crackdown. But the whole Bella Thorne issue did not help that, because you can't tell people that you're going to do something and give them a false sense of advertisement. Like, they do deserve their money. And if on OnlyFans, if you try to get a charge back through your bank or your credit card company, you lose your account.
So like, what are, not like the whole guideline book, but like what are the major guidelines that you can't violate on OnlyFans? Like you'll be
you cannot mention meetups. There is no in real life things, which is fine. Like, these subscribers should not be trying to meet up with online creators anyways. You cannot post some serious fetishes like pee or shit, you know? You can't you can't promote that, and that is like a pretty serious fetish. They don't even really want you showing bodily fluids, so no squirting.
Interesting.
Girls do it,
and
like I definitely do, but you're not really supposed to post that. You can't post anyone who is not a creator on there or has given written consent. No blackmailing. So that's a big thing in the domming world is blackmailing.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. Those are just a couple things right off the top of my head that you can't do.
Yeah, I imagine someone just sitting with like a bunch of monitors in front of them, just like regulating, just like watching to make sure like no one's like peeing or whatever. Just like, I know they're going to any minute. Just, dude, my Instagram, like today, I got 6 little, I don't know what it's called, like
violations.
Demerits. I don't know what you call, like, yeah. And it's like, one is just me in like a bra top and a skirt. And it's like, I can't appeal it. They're like, no, our bots are sure of like what we're looking at. You cannot. It literally was like, no, our AI bots, no, bitch. I'm like, oh, okay, well.
I don't negotiate with terrorists. I leave it up.
So like then
I leave it up.
But so then how do you grow if you're shadow banned?
I don't grow on Instagram. If I'm being honest, I haven't grown in a long time. But Instagram is not my main focus of growing anymore. Like as the years have gone, I've put my focus on other things. You don't have to have a really big following to make money. And at this point, money is what matters.
Interesting.
But Instagram is really, really hard to grow on. It's not like it used to be when I first started, where we would get pages to post you, and those pages, like, you'd gain a bunch of traction.
Like, World Star throws you up for a second, and, like, yeah.
World Star charges, like, an obscene amount of money for their promo. Crazy. Like, 7 to 12K for a promo.
Wild.
And then you get, like, a bunch of shit talkers in there. So I don't know if I want that traction. But it would be, like for me, it'd be, like, tattooed pages. Booty model pages, that kind of thing. Those were really popping back in like 2017, 2018. And I grew from, I had my own Instagram at 10K before I had help. There was a page that reached out to me with 1 million followers and was like, I'm going to help you. I want you to take poses like this. You send them to me and I'm going to disperse it through a bunch of like pages that I collab with. And I grew from 10K to 100K within like less than a year.
Holy shit. So how did that benefit them? They just like took a portion of whatever you earned from like brand deals?
I think he kept those pictures in his little spank bank. He had a foot fetish and a lot of them were like booty and feet pics. So I think it benefited him in that way.
I mean, that's like a small price to pay, honestly. Like whatever the fuck he does, like who cares? Yeah, to like grow like
if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have taken off the way that I did. So I definitely owe a lot to my growth because of that page. Be very consistent on TikTok. That is like the new Instagram where you grow. It used to be you can get your followers from Instagram to go to OnlyFans, but now I feel like it's TikTok. And it's really hard for girls in this industry to keep a TikTok alive. So, but it really does work. It takes one viral video and you don't know what video is going to be viral. It could be the most randomest thing and you just gain like 60,000 followers. And of those 60,000 followers, maybe like 500 decide to subscribe to your OnlyFans. Maybe even more if it's a free OnlyFans.
So you think you should do like a free one and a paid?
I do. I have 3 pages.
Okay.
I have a paid one, my VIP one that I always have like a discount running on. And then I have my free one. And then I have my all access, no pay-per-view one. That one's for more subscription price.
Okay, interesting. And also, like, I'm asking this all purely for myself. Like, I'm literally like,
you just started, right?
Yeah, I did. And so I think it's interesting, like, perspective from someone who's been doing it for a long time, and then also someone who's like getting into it, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at all. So for the longest, people have been like, oh, you would do so well on OnlyFans. I'm like, well, then what do I do? Do you want to teach me? What do I do? So yeah, and I think it's like interesting too with all the like management companies popping up. That probably hasn't always been a thing, right? It's a smart idea.
That is like a newish kind of thing, and I don't know how I feel about it. I know for a lot of girls it does work out for them. I am way too scared to give up control of my page, especially because like you're relying on a team of people to respond to these people the way that you would, not miss out on the sale, not give away that you're being ran by a management team. And I don't trust that because a lot of these people that are on my OF have been like longtime fans of mine.
Right.
So I've never trusted that. I would not ever. I think everyone should do it on their own.
What's like the craziest request that you've gotten from a fan since you started?
Since I started in the industry or OF?
Actually,
because there's not so much that you can request on OF that could be too crazy because they like block out a lot of words.
I guess since you started in the industry then.
I think it was like maybe like a couple months after I started my Snapchat, I had a guy request a lollipop. First, he wanted like a cummy lollipop where you like come and then you wipe up your cum with the lollipop and you send it to him. So I did that. And the second time he wanted it in my butt. Okay,
Right,
so
sure.
whatever, I did it.
Yeah.
Sent it to him. He loved it so much that the third request, he requested this time that I take a shit and then before I wipe, put the lollipop in my butt. Get it all nice and,
Marinate
and then,
it,
marinate it and then send it to him.
Okay.
I did. I did do it.
Okay, quick question. Did he want like video evidence that you did this? Or did he just like trust you that you like in good faith?
He did want video evidence. I did not take a video of me like doing the deed.
act.
Yes, only like once I put the lollipop in my butt and
for
stuff.
like proof.
Yes, and so I obviously charged extra for that. That was the last time I ever did something like that because I thought about it and I was like super in my head and I was like, what if this guy gets like E. coli and he dies?
Just Vibrio, just
like what if he dies? Can I be charged for this?
You're like, and that is how COVID started. Just kidding. That was the hub. Just that's crazy.
And he has hit me up like ever since still. Like to this day, sometimes I'll get like a random email. Like he knows my actual email and he'll be like, I'm the guy who bought this.
He's
like, can we do another one? And I just nope. I'm not gonna do it.
Did he pay, if you don't mind me asking, for
So,
like the last of like the trifecta?
500.
I mean,
And like in that time, that was a lot. That was way more than I've ever charged for anything. I would not do it now, but if I were to do it, it would be like thousands.
Dude, if you don't have to leave your house, you know what I mean? It just seems like such a small thing, like in the scheme of things. Like, why not? Yeah. Why not? I don't think it's that crazy.
I mean, it's a pretty crazy
it's
request.
out there for him for sure. Like he's kind of weird as fuck, respectfully, sir. If you're out there, like I honestly would do that for you. But that's wild. So you'd say that's like the craziest.
Yeah, and then that's the craziest thing I've ever done. I've definitely been requested, like for in-person stuff. I don't do any of that. There's a lot of guys out there that like poop play, and that's just a hard no for me. Like I don't want my face out there with that fetish.
Yeah.
Like imagine my grandchildren seeing me like take a dump on a guy's chest.
You're like I wonder what grandma was like back in the day.
Respectfully, I'm done.
We're like, hey, I pull up all the videos of my grandma real quick, like.
But I get requested that. I get requested for like ball busting, stepping on their balls, kicking their balls with my heels and stuff.
Sounds kind of therapeutic, I'm not gonna lie.
If I'm ever at like AVN or something, and if they allow that, and some sub comes up and wants me to do that, I'll do it.
Why not, honestly.
Not for free though.
Did you ever do anything prior to the premium snap, like a seeking moment, or did you do like a dancer at a club or anything like that, or was it just like straight to the
I have stage fright. I could never dance ever in front of you. I did one time once I had already started my premium snap and I was getting like pretty well known. A strip club paid me to do a feature dance.
Oh.
And I dressed up as Jessica Rabbit and it was nerve-wracking and I just never did it again. So props to all the dancers out there to get up there and shake ass. And
I feel like I'm too mean. I don't know, maybe some people would like that, but it's just knowing that like a man is like in my periphery just staring at me and like I don't fuck with him like that. It's just like I don't know, something's like off-putting about it. Like if I could
do like a dom one,
that would be, I would love that.
Like whips and chains and the whole thing, smoke
grass
machine.
knuckles.
Oh yeah.
But
come get hit.
Someone out there is like, fuck yeah. But I think like just overall having to be nice to a man just really that's what is the struggle for me personally.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's why I switched. It's a struggle being nice to men.
Does your family know like what you do, and how do you feel about the stigma that kind of accompanies being OnlyFans?
Both sides of my family know what I do. My dad's side, some of them are supportive about it. Others are like older and they're just, we're not ever going to talk about it. They judge me more than likely. My mom's side, they all know what I do. And sometimes I even sit there and tell them about like my hard work day and the stuff that I have to deal with. And I'm like, anytime you complain about your job, just remember like these are the guys that I have to deal with.
The lollipop guy of them all. But the craziest thing to me though is that It's the girls who don't talk about it. They're like the undercover hoes. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, like the people with OnlyFans, a lot of my friends who are strippers, whatever, they're the most loyal. Like, they're not out there fucking everybody. Like, they have a dude or they're just not like that. And then you have like a nurse, a teacher, and there's out there just popping a pussy relentlessly, like unforgivingly.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's the craziest like thing, and I wonder at what point the stigma is gonna end and it's gonna become more normalized.
I think it's already ending. Right before COVID, and even kind of during COVID, it was like a really big thing to talk bad about OnlyFans girls before half the world decided to join. Grandmas, moms, they all joined too. Like everyone was talking about OnlyFans girls, saying that we're just like hoes and that we're not respectable. And like that is the case for a lot of girls in this industry. They're not respectable, and but that's fine. Like that's them, you know. Now everybody is like on OnlyFans, and it's like it's become normalized. Porn has become normalized. Now a lot of people are trying to get it not normalized because of how normal it's become. Like they're lobbying against like normalizing porn. Porn shouldn't be a thing. And I'm like, you guys do not understand that prostitution, porn, all this stuff is like one of the most oldest professions. So, you know, I'm pretty sure like the girls back in like the 1800s, if they could slang some pussy on camera, they would.
100%.
But they were out on the corner and going in brothels, you know,
sticking their little ankle out, just doing what they could.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing to me, someone asked me, I don't remember on what podcast episode it was, but they were like, what would you do if your kid found out? And it's like, okay, like at a certain point, whenever I do have kids, right, if I do, they're going to be in school, and I bet you anything 90% of the moms in that like class are going to have a fucking OnlyFans, or they've had one. It's going to be so normalized. Like, it's going to be weird if your mom doesn't. Almost, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like you're going to be the outlier if you're like
That'll
the
be
one.
the day.
Yeah. But I feel like it's coming. Because I feel like I know more people that do than don't.
Guys and girls like to throw at me like, oh, like your kids are going to be so disappointed. And like, I don't think that's true, because I have definitely turned this into a legitimate business. Like I'm a legit LLC.
Yeah.
I do things not just slanging pussy. Like it's a film production. It's marketing, editing, photography, videography. Like it's just there's so much that goes into it that it's a legit job.
Yeah.
And I know it's just all about how you raise your children. If you're going to raise them to be judgmental little shits, or you're going to raise them to be respectable and not judge a book by its cover or what they do for their profession.
I want to find a comment that I literally responded to someone who was kind of talking about that on my Instagram. I post a reel, and someone just said the rudest shit, and they were like, well, when their kids are in school, da-da-da, and it's like, well, you're probably the one raising your kid to be a bully, who's raising them to be closed-minded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, blame yourself for that, not the kid who's not doing anything and just, like, sitting there, you know? Do you think it's possible to be successful on OnlyFans if you do implied nudity?
There are people who are successful, like Amaranth. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
Yeah, I saw her on, I think she was on Pillow Talk, I want to say.
Okay, well, she's known for Twitch, and she did a lot of like bikini streams and stuff, and then she finally created an OnlyFans, and everybody joined her OnlyFans. She made millions. And she definitely does implied. I don't know if she still does that now or if she's jumped over, but for a long time, she's very successful. But obviously she was successful before that. And these guys joined it thinking that they were going to see something, or even just seeing a little bit more than what they saw on Twitch is enough to keep them around. But she's implied, and she does very well for herself.
Exactly what she said. She's like, I just do like barely like the tiniest bit more than what I was doing before, and give them the hope that maybe someday I will, and I won't, but they think I might. So they just kind of like stick around, and good for her. Have you ever had like a scary situation, like a stalker type situation, or someone who's gone too far as a fan?
Not a fan, because I've always been very open about carrying on me, and I'm pretty psycho. I'm pretty clinically insane, so I have no problem putting a bullet between someone's eyes if they even attempted to do anything.
Same. We all hear that.
So yeah, so I have definitely put it out there. If anything, guys should be scared of me. I have had a girl stalker, and it was over a comment I made. She showed up on my Instagram and was just going through my comments, responding to everyone, talking crap about me. So I fired back and like made fun of her. And then she held on to that, and she stalked me for 4 or 5 years, kept getting my Instagrams taken down, kept creating fake accounts, would like message me some really, really crazy stuff, like some clinically insane stuff. And
what are some of the things, like, maybe not like the craziest, but things she would say, just the gist of it?
that I like saying that me posting her on my story, my fans went over and like gave her death threats. They didn't. Like, I didn't post her in that light. I posted her making fun of her, not saying like, oh, this girl's talking shit, go over there and talk. I never said that. Like, she would just like say stuff like that, and it was just relentless. And after like the 5th Instagram that she got taken down, she messaged me one time off of a fake account, and I just had like an idea. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna call her out by her name. And then she sent me a video on this fake account of her, and I just, when I knew. No. So that's when I found, I did some digging, took literally 15 minutes, because this girl posts her entire life. I found out where she worked, where she lived, what street. She posted her house, and in the house, it had the house number, and on her Instagram, she had also posted a street sign. So I put 2 and 2 together. I was able to find her exact address. I found her phone number. I found her parents' address. I knew what school she went to. I found where her sister lives.
Amazing.
And I just let her know, I know all of this information. So if you don't quit, you know, something bad is going to happen. And I know all your information. So I was like, do with that information what you will. Yep. And the stalking stopped.
I feel like people don't expect there to be consequences a lot of the time, you know, especially when someone has a big platform. My hometown alone, like, I'm from Corpus Christi, so like Selena, that's like her birthplace, whatever. People hate Yolanda Saldivar, and she shot her by accident, but supposedly from the documentary, apparently it was an accident, whatever, but she still did it.
I don't even want to see it because it's gonna piss me off.
So everyone says that, like, everyone that I like bring it up to, and honestly, it's really fucking interesting. Like, I do recommend it, but like, my family's boycotting it. They don't want to watch it. But like, she definitely did that shit. Don't get me wrong. Like, she for sure killed her and like should be in jail. However, like, the story's actually kind of crazy. Like, her family, ever since Yolanda went into jail, has been gathering receipts, like all kinds of proof, evidence, paperwork, like compiling all this stuff for just decades, years.
Of what?
I guess like so much shit. So like, one example, I guess like, very long story short, spoiler alert, guys, but Selena was opening her little boutiques, right? And her dad didn't want her to do that. He wanted her to focus just on her music career. But Yolanda was helping her with these shops and like all this stuff, kind of like veering her away from music. So apparently, supposedly, AB, don't kill me, but apparently he put a hit out on Yolanda, and like bad shit started happening to her. So she tried to resign, and like her family dug up this resignation letter and all this stuff showing that she was trying to leave the situation. And I guess like the final confrontation that happened was she went to like finally like really, really resign in this hotel room, talked to Selena. Selena tried to stop her, and like the gun went off by accident. And it was like this whole thing. So she definitely still did it.
Why did she have a gun?
To protect herself, apparently, because
the hit?
Yeah, supposedly.
That she knew about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, guys, I'm from Corpus. Don't hate me. These are all like just like opinions from the documentary. However,
theories. They're theories.
Fan theories, if you will. What would be the best way for a guy to approach you online and like out in the wild? Like, what would actually work? And then how would you approach a dude if you wanted to, online and in person?
Just automatically sending money tributes to me.
Amazing.
You want to get my attention? Yes. You want to get my attention? You send me money. No, I'm actually really approachable in real life. I don't really have a resting bitch face, so I don't come across as intimidating.
Apparently, I look mean as fuck. I don't know what I just can't move my face, guys. I don't know. It's just frozen in time.
It's just my face.
It literally is. Like, unless I get a transplant girl from fucking Turkey, like, nothing's gonna change. But yeah.
In real life, people have approached me, and they've always done it respectfully. They've always come up and like, hey, are you Princess Pineapple? I follow you. I'm a longtime fan. Do you mind if I get a picture with you? And I love that. And they usually compliment me like for the next couple minutes, and then they leave, and that's that. Or I've been in an airport where they have seen me and they've asked to buy me a drink, and then they left. I've only had one weird interaction where I was in the mall and I was getting gelato, and I turn around and some guy was just like selfie in my face, no. Just like I'm like just mid eating, and then he just like takes off, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, that was so rude.
Weird as fuck. Like, who raised you? Oh, that's actually so odd.
Like he was raised in a barn. I don't know. Yeah, that was the only odd situation I've ever had. The way they approached me would be the way that those guys do, like just coming up and like complimenting me, telling me that, you know, like acknowledging who I am, and like telling me that they follow me and if they could get a picture or like a hug or something, you know.
What's a good DM slide for like your run-of-the-mill dude? Say like it's not for you, but just for like a girl they want to talk to. What's like a non-creepy like that you think would be effective just to help the men out there, you know?
Well, not being cheesy right off the bat. Okay, humor definitely is like a plus, but not being cheesy. Probably sliding in the DMs and saying like, hey, I just had to come here and tell you, like, I just think that you are absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous or something, you know, being like very sweet.
Yeah.
And just saying like, I was wondering if like maybe we could chat, get to know each other, and if you're open to that, and just like leaving it up to the woman, you know, like if she even wants to, instead of just being like, damn ma, you fine, or that ass so fat. Like, okay,
yeah,
everyone says that. Like, why don't
like,
you
I'm
be different?
Aware I have eyeballs. Thank
yes.
you. It's just crazy. Like grown ass men, like full grown men, supposedly they're just like, let's link, or just the like shortest little like, or they're like, let's hang out. I'm like, where, when, what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? It's just so
like,
vague. It's like,
where do you get the audacity?
Yeah, and how do you think has it worked for you before?
Like the newest wave of subscribers think that they can collab with OF models. Like just the normal person thinks that they can just be like, oh, well, let's collab. Like, you haven't bought anything from me. You've been lurking for a year, and you have the audacity to be like, oh, how much for a link up? Or not even offering money, just saying like, let's fuck for video.
What do they think? It's like the bang bus is gonna pull up outside their house. They just pick them up and like drop them back off like 30 minutes. Like, what the fuck? That's so entitled.
It's just the entitlement is insane. And in my DMs, I will get like a girl who has maybe like 500 followers, and I'm not opposed if I know that if they're a really pretty girl, they fit my aesthetic, they want to get started. I'm not opposed to like helping a girl jumpstart her career, and it also benefits me because I have a hot girl in my video too, who no one's ever heard of, you know. But it's girls that they don't know how to take a photo. They don't know how to do their own makeup or their hair. They don't look the best. And like, they just automatically think that they could just slide in top creators' DMs thinking that we're just going to be like, oh yes, get in my video, take all my subscribers. Like,
that's crazy. But honestly, like, I aspire to have that level of like, respectfully, that level of delusion. Like, imagine like having no depression, no anxiety, no mental illness. Your only illness is like, you're just too confident. Like, bitch, I would be unstoppable. I would be the president. I would be like, I don't know, like, I'd rewrite the Constitution.
Good for them though, you know, like, cause you know, the worst thing you can be told is no. Like, and how you never know. On one of the 50 girls that they write, maybe one of them or two are going to be like, yeah, sure, girl.
Yeah. Any final thoughts for the guys out there, that lollipop guy, the stalkers of the world, girls getting started on OnlyFans? Just final
you know, thoughts. Final thoughts. Subscribe to my OnlyFans and give me your money if you want me to ruin your life in the most fantastic way possible. Like, you will love your life being ruined by me. For girls joining, I would say don't put all your eggs in one basket. Definitely be on other sites too. Persistence and consistency is key. You have to be so persistent. Definitely try to grow TikTok. Try to keep up with the trends. Otherwise, it is going to be extremely hard to grow just because it's such an oversaturated site now. And there's nothing wrong with that, but just understand that it's going to be a slow grow unless a video of yours on TikTok just blows up. And you do like some very controversial things, like the girl Jelly Bean Brains, you know who I'm talking about, the one that has the Cybertruck and she'll like jump on it and like smack it.
No.
And does like her little dancey dance on it. Okay, obviously she did it on her Lamborghini before the Cybertruck, and a lot of people that got people talking.
Yeah.
You know, because she came out of nowhere.
Damn.
And then she just grew to millions of followers, and like, so unless you're gonna be like that and you're gonna be controversial and you're gonna make controversial reels and TikToks, then it's gonna be a slow grow, and you just have to be very persistent. OnlyFans is a great site. I owe a lot to OnlyFans. I bought a $500,000 home. I have been able to provide for my family. I have not had to work a 9-to-5 job since 2017, and I don't plan on it. It's given me the opportunity to buy investment homes, to expand my my career path. Like, I don't just do this. I also do real estate. I also do marketing, and it's given me the opportunity to be home with my family and raising my children and not having to put them in daycare, and be able to not feel like I have to go to a job in order to like further my career in other places because I need the money. So OnlyFans has been great for me. I can't complain about them. It's definitely a great career path, and if any girls want to join that, or guys, more power to you. Just don't toe the line. Either do it or don't.
Thank you for answering all my questions. I'll probably have more, to be honest.
Okay.
But thank you guys for watching the first OFTV episode of my podcast, and we'll be back with more soon. Love you guys so much. Bye.
Bye.